I've been waiting for this. Let's have a look, shall we? At least I hope this is what I think it is. It is Apple keyboard. Magic keyboard. The iPad. Yeah, I think we might need an iPad. Bear with me. Got an iPad. Oh, I was going to say let's put the knife away before I cut myself, because that's bound to happen. Normally, I was just about to say, normally Apple stuff's a lot easier to get into, and then I noticed the tab on the corner. I just love the way they package things. Well, it's quite heavy, you know. Wasn't expecting that. I should have been. It says it on the specs, but I wasn't expecting that. Little Apple logo embossed into there. Not a real iPad in there though. Cheers. What have we got in here? Instructions and warranty stuff. Oh, you thought they'd give you some nice little stickers or something into that. Not that I ever use the stickers. I think I've used one out of the 20 Apple devices I've had over the years. Probably a few more than that, actually. I'm scared of breaking it, moving it. Stiffer than I thought. Certainly not a one-handed thing. Right, let's get the iPad out of here, shall we? This case has done well. It was a really cheapy case, but obviously it's not a keyboard. That clicked into place easy. So I'm going to go away and play with this for a few days, and that is quite heavy, and let you know what I think about it back in a couple of days. Magic keyboard. Is it any good? I'm going to go through the problems with it. I'm going to go through the likes with it. I'm going to go through my main gripe with it and how I got around it. And then I'm going to give you my conclusion as to whether I think you should buy it. So let's start with the problems with it. The main one is it's so goddamn heavy. It's heavy. This thing is a beast. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that weighed more than my laptop now. It's horrendously heavy. Yeah, it's horrendously heavy. Maybe I'll weigh it and just put some little figures on the screen here as to how heavy it actually is and how heavy my laptop is and how heavy a phone is. That's probably the simplest thing, isn't it, so you can see. So that's my main gripe with it, it's heavy. It's expensive. 300 quid for a keyboard? Really? We'll come to likes and see if that weighs out. So this does worry me, is that it's got the same sort of cover as the smart covers used to have for the iPads, that after about 3 or 4 months in your bag, look really tatty. My worry is that this at such an expensive price becomes really tatty. And that'll make me sad. But I can't tell at this stage. I'm only guessing. Educated guess by past performance. But we shall see. I could be proved wrong. It could be the best thing out there since sliced bread. Doubt it, but it could be. What else we got here? It's the pencil. So I had a case before that kept my pencil secure so that when it was in my bag I didn't drop it or lose it. Now, don't get me wrong, the pencil works really well on there when you're using it. And when you fold it out, it stays on the top, it's easy accessible, it's put on. The magnets are really good on that pencil. Superb, really happy with that. My problem is that when you put it into a bag, it pops off. When you come out of a bag, you've got to search for it. Yeah, I think that's an issue. They haven't thought about where to store the pencil because they probably couldn't find a decent solution. Don't blame them, difficult task. What do? Let's ignore it. It's fine, people won't care about the pencil, they want it as a laptop. They'll put it in the bag and put it in. No, we've got a special little slot for that on the side of that iPad that magnets on, that keeps it charged. I want it stored on that. If other manufacturers can make cases that incorporate into there, that do that, great. But actually, that brings me on to my next point. Let's move that box out of the way. And now we're getting into some of the likes. And the likes that I like about this is that I haven't got a case, and I do flip that off. Oh my God, that's so light. Makes you appreciate how light the iPad is when it comes on. So we've got that there. I can just carry on using it. To me, that brings the iPad back to being light, usable. It gives it a new lease of life. When I had the case on it bulky, it's a bit cumbersome. It's not. I paid for this tech, for this gorgeous design that they did. And actually, their keyboard case allows me to do that. And I'm quite pleased with that fact. So yeah, that's a plus point. I finished with a negative for now, by the way. I'm on to plus points. It's too good not to have a plus point. The other thing is, it works. This keyboard, which obviously is active because it's on, but this keyboard is beautiful to type on. I think it's because I've got last year's MacBook, which didn't have the brand new keys that came out last month. And these keys are going back to the old sort of style, and they're really nice to work with. I've done several blog posts, documents and everything on it now, and it is a beautiful keyboard to type on. It's sturdy. This thing is solid. Hence probably why it weighs so much. There's no flex in that whatsoever. There's less flex in that than there is in my separate Apple keyboard for my desktop Mac. So that gives you some indication. The trackpad is beautiful. It just works. You don't have to alter any settings on the iPad. It's just there. It moves around lovely. It's got a nice little click into it. It's Apple. It's going to be designed well. Of course it is. Well, unless they totally mess up like they have done at last keyboard and things like that. But generally, it's still designed well. That last keyboard was really good. It's just unfortunately just failed, which it still does on mine. Must get that sorted. But this, they've thought about it. The hinge, the way it pops back, and just a little bit. I always feel like I'm going to push it too far because I want to angle it a little bit more. Time will tell if I actually do break that. The pass-through charging port's quite convenient on the side. It's quite nice. So, plus point, it's built well. It's built really well. It's beautiful to use. I can use that on my lap so happily. It's just absolutely fantastic. So, plus points for that. Now, the main real plus point is its convenience. It's just so nice to be able to use the iPad. It's one of those things, you have a desktop, you go, if I had a laptop, I'd be able to work at home and just sit there and work. So you get a laptop. When you got a laptop, you go, sitting up there watching TV, doing something, just chilling. I can't be bothered to go and get the laptop and open it up and boot it up, but I just can't. iPad comes along, go, oh yeah, I can surf the internet, it's just like my phone, it's really quick. I'll just keep that, that's brilliant. Type a document, create a blog post. Nah, it's just, I can't do it on that. I need a keyboard. So, you get a keyboard. Wow, that just finished the piece in the puzzle. I am so happy just to sit there and write and put everything down and do that little bit extra work that's not work because it doesn't feel it. I don't know if that will change, and it might well do. But I really like it. I hate to say it, I really like it. Now, to the pen. I went and bought, so I preempted that I wasn't going to like it for the pen because I saw all the pre-stuff come out and I went, yeah, you know what? Maybe not going to like that. So I bought some extra little bits and pieces. So let's see what I bought. These were only a few pounds, to be fair, and I'll put the link in. So I bought these ones, which, yeah, look a bit cheap. Well, that's probably quite convenient. See, I got the idea of sticking this there onto the iPad. Well, I bought those, but they look a bit papery and cheapy. It's got a little leathery effect on, and I'm sure they're good for notebooks. Then I bought this one, Wrinkle, which has got a few of these, which are more leathery, apparently. They look a bit more premium. Can you see that into there? Very nice. Compare that to that. It's got a bit of a papery, sheeny. That is quite nice. Now, the question is, fits the pencil beautifully. My problem is that I'm going to lose it in my bag. I'm going to take it out and drop it if it's attached, and I don't want it. Yeah, So, got that. We've got 3 choices here now. And then we got this, which was a full little sleeve. Okay, potentially. I don't know how it's going to fit in the bag. Oh, that fits in better than expected. So that material is so light and flexible, snug, nice, secure. Yep, that's staying in there. So these ones, they're not going to work. They're too cheap. Yeah, they look too cheap. Great for notebooks. Pass them over to the kids. Shh. Birthday present. So the next thing to look at is where would we want to put this on here. So if we open that up, that's the other thing actually with this. It's two-handed to open it up. You are not doing this single-handedly by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, just notice some little bits on there. It's quite interesting. So I suppose I've just got to get used to where it is that I open. You can have it on the back. Is that going to... See, what worries me is that when you put it into the bag, you've then got something there which can potentially... Mind you, I don't think anything's getting through this metal on this case, but potentially could twist it. I don't know. So, as much as I like that, is one of these going to be better? If you had that place there, that just goes in snugly into that. It can almost bend around into that if it had to keep in line, but it's not going to damage. It's not going to charge it at the same time though, but it's not going to damage the thing. And we've got it smack in the centre of the Apple logo. Well, you would have if I'd done it right. Smack in the centre of the Apple logo. It doesn't look too bad. Looks quite classy. And what's it look like when we open it up? And it's just on the top there, and there you go. Now, the only trouble with that is going to be that it is never going to be charging that pencil. Is that a problem? Does the charge go quickly? Is it not going to be charged when I want it? Questions, questions, questions. So I'm going to go away and have a play with those. I do still like that sleeve because you could just fit that quite happily onto there. In fact, you'd have to stick it on the back side because you wouldn't want anything on that flat. So it's going to have to go onto there. But that would go really, really nice there. I think that might be the option, you know. That nice little sleeve. I think that's a good call. I think it will work for future stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to be the one. Until I change my mind next week and the other one's the one. I'll let you decide which ones you like. So, that is a quick overview. I'm not going to go into all the specs of it. There's loads of other videos telling you about this, that and the other, what type of keyboard it is, the charging port, this, that. I'm on about real world use. I've used it. Haven't been given this. I've bought it with my money. It's not something that's, yeah, real world review, basically. So, would I buy this if I wasn't doing a review for YouTube? I had lots of cash to burn. And yeah. So, if you've got an iPad Pro already, and you want the next level with it to turn it into something that you can use, yes, go get it. It's great. It's a beautiful piece of kit. I think you'll love it. I think you'll love your iPad Pro again. I think you'll fall in love with your iPad Pro because it's just brought a whole new lease of life to it. It's turned it into a brand new product. I think you'll like it. I think it'll work really well. So, that being said, if I had a laptop and I didn't have an iPad, I wouldn't buy the two together. What's the point? You've already got something. Buy an iPad because you want it for a purpose, not because you want to turn it into another laptop. If you haven't got either and you're looking at, do I get this instead of a laptop? Difficult choice, really. And I think you've got to look at what do you need it for. If you want it so that you can do drawing and you can type a few notes up at college and you don't need to do any 50,000 word essays and this, that and the other, then yeah, I think it's pretty good and I think you'll love it. If you're needing something for university, for instance, and you need to store loads of documents, you need to use Photoshop, you need to do this, that and the other, get a laptop. This still doesn't replace your laptop with Photoshop or anything else like that. Yes, there's some fantastic apps in there and Affinity is bloody brilliant. But it's not perfect. I can get it to crash nearly every single time, memory usage. Yeah, I'd go with a laptop. It depends what you want it for. If you've got a few notes, want to do some drawing predominantly on it and things like that, great. It's great for note taking as well. Like Good Notes or something like that is a brilliant, it's a superb app. I use it every day almost. It's just perfect. Keyboard typing on it now is just the icing on the cake. It allows me to do blog posts, this, that and the other. Would I have normally spent the money on that? Touch and go, really. But if you have got the spare cash for it, it's a nice little toy to have. I know that's no definitive answer, but hopefully I've given you some pros and cons to which way you might go. I do really like it. Convenient. It's totally transformed me doing typing text at the end of the day, that I can't be bothered to get the laptop out. I've got to that laziness stage that the laptop is too much effort. How bad's that? But it's true. That's the way the world works. We move on. This will probably happen at some point, and then I'll be wanting Apple to make sure that I can just talk to the damn thing and it sorts it out and it's perfect. One day we'll get there. I won't have to do all that. Hope you found that useful. If you did, I'd appreciate a like. Subscribe for any future bits. If you've got any comments or you want to know something else that I haven't covered, then drop a link below. It'd be great. Let's start a conversation going on this. It's I quite like it. I'm keeping it. Shh, don't tell anyone. Keeping it. See you on the next one.